seem to understand. I'm not locked in here with you. You're locked in here with me.
Alright, so there's a movie, in case you haven't looked at these photographs, called Watchmen. It was done by Zack Snyder. I like his films. And in this movie, there's this great character called Rorschach, and played by Jackie Earl Haley. He did a fantastic job. It was a really cool movie. It's all about superheroes. Unfortunately, Rorschach's superhero power is being a bit of a jerk. Yeah. So, okay, anyways, here's a figure for the guy. It's obviously unlicensed because it's called the Inkblot. But who else would it be? It's made by Filix Toys. This is how it came in the mail. Let me get it out of this bag here. I don't know when this was released. Not too long ago. I bet it was released like within 2 years ago. It's just that I have other toys to buy. You know, so this is kind of put on the back burner, but it finally came up at a decent price I was willing to get. Oh yeah, see, it says copyright 2021, Filix Toys. Limb action body. So Limb Toys, excuse me, has something to do with this, and I have a different figure from those guys. It's pretty good. It says artistic interpretation, so it's definitely not a Watchmen licensed figure. Okay, so the box is nice and small. You know, it's not like a Mesko box where it's just huge. So this, you could actually collect the box and not feel, you know, not take up too much space. Alright, so this is all that we need, really. Some nice bubble vacuum forming here. We got a whole bunch of accessories here. In fact, this thing's so tall, I gotta raise the camera a little bit. Okay. Is this taped together? No, I don't think it is. Alright, so dump all those out. I guess we'll just go over the accessories first. So we got a bunch of hands, obviously. Hand choices. Open hand here. Let's see if there's a matching one. Yeah, matching open hands. Matching fists, kind of. They're more like grabby hands. It looks like you can put in something, you know. And then these are kind of like pinching, maybe pinching, or operating hands, but they're not the same. They're a little different. Alright, so cool. There's a cleaver. There's a scene where he messed up a child molester, rightfully so. And then here's Rorschach's journal. Okay, so there's this iconic in the movie. He writes about the whole story about, apparently. And this is the pin from the comedian. It's really well done. It's actually got a big glossy dome on it. So it looks like one of those domed button pins. So pretty cool. On the, yeah, they even have like the back pin thing molded on. It's a two-piece thing. It's really nice. Cool. Very cool. Look at that again. Nice. Alright, so yeah. There's also a scene where he takes some hairspray and defends himself and, you know, makes a flamethrower out of that in this lighter here. So the lighter is part of the flame. The flame is really nice. You can see it's translucent, but it's also yellow, clear, and orange. So very cool. So he can hold both, you know, I guess you'd have to have both hands hold it. So that makes sense actually how they did that. Boy, I forget what this, I think this was the comedian's rose or something. I forget what this was, but it's a rose. Okay. I think this is part of his gun. Alright, so these three bits here are the grappling hook gun. So look at this detail here. Yeah, very nice. A lot of molded details, but also paint details. The triggers, the trigger is not like gold, it's actually got hollow holes in it. Look at that. So it's passing light, some sort of air compressor, it's an air powered gun or something. So you could have just the gun and the standard guys. Hold on here. I don't know if there's too much plastic there. It doesn't seem to want to go in. There we go. So yeah, that's the grappling hook in the closed position. Alright. Then we could have the grappling hook in the open position, and it's got this steel wire here, and that must pop into this thing here. Very nice. I mean, naturally I wish the wire was a little bit longer, but I guess you could bend it outwards, or maybe find a different little wire. Although it's a pretty stiff wire, so I'm not sure what wire you could use. Possibly like the wire from a spring-operated pen. You know, you undo a spring-operated pen. It might be the same thickness as this. So anyways, that's really cool. A bunch of great accessories there. Let's move those out of the way. Let's get this going here. Alright, so now we got the figure. Nothing on the back. And then is this taped together? No, it's just got these dimples holding the front cover. Nice protective plastic there. More protective plastic for the figure's head. And then we got 3 alternate Rorschach heads, or Inkblot heads. And then we got a nice hat here as well. So this hat, it's looks old and weathered. It's got a different color for this little stripe. And yeah, it's nicely done. I like it. It looks old. Okay, let's get into these Rorschach heads. Seem to have 3 kinds. Yeah, alright. That looks very human-like. And then you can see the texturing. It looks like cloth fabric, you know, but this is all one piece of plastic. Well, this is one piece of plastic. I think this might be a separate piece with to accept the ball peg. Alright, so that one. Oh yeah, that one's pretty cool. I like this one more. Interesting. So they're all the same molded head. I'm not really feeling this one. This looks like an Asian character of text. Yeah, okay. So now we got Rorschach himself. I think his name was Walter Kovacs in the movie, but his superhero name was Rorschach. I gotta hold it way back here because my phone's in a horizontal position. Alright, well, what's nice about this thing is the cloth outfit, right? It definitely looks better than a all plastic figure. Let's zoom in on the head here. Yeah, he's got some blood details. He was beaten up apparently. He's got a little cut there and a nice sculpt to the hair. The face itself has like a roughness to the skin, like he hasn't shaved in a while. See? And then the eyes are really well done. Let's get some more light in here. That's better. Yeah, it's kind of disturbingly realistic. It looks like a human. It's just miniature form. It's crazy. So very impressive head sculpt on this guy. Let's see. Granted, it's not the same expression, but look at that. I think that's a pretty good representation of Jackie Earle Haley. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing his name right. Alright, and then we got this outfit here. So we got the buttons matching up. You know, the tied off cinch for the coat. A big wide collar. I guess you could probably flip the collar upwards maybe. I don't know, we'll have to see when I get closer. And uh-oh, what's going on here? That seems like it should be underneath. Alright. So yeah, let's look at this coat. Does this collar flip up? Yeah, you can flip it up, but you can see, I don't know, it's got a different fabric underneath there. So I think it's best to just leave it down, but I gotta tuck this underneath. So that's not sewn down, it's fine, just tucked underneath the collar. And then he's got a scarf of like, I guess a light tan color. And there's his head, yeah, alright, his neck looks good, and then the ball peg there. Let's put in that, this head here, like this one. Alright, that looks good, and then let's put this hat on him. Yeah, that fits pretty nice. Alright, maybe I didn't pop the head in. I don't hear a clicking noise, but maybe I gotta align that thing Yeah, I gotta push that ball peg back so it can clear. I don't know how that was in there. It looks like the peg is too close to the chest right now, but I can't seem to move it. Oh, I heard a snap. Okay, so now it's in there, and then the hat goes on nicely. So that's good. Nice friction fits there. All right. So now we got this jacket here. The buttons are nice. I constantly move in and out here, trying to get into details here. I think the buttons are just glued on, they're not sewn on. The pockets look good. Oh, I think they might be real. Well, there's a little bit of depth to this pocket, you can see here. So hold on a sec, let me just pop in this can of spray paint. Yeah, like I said, it's not too deep, but you can see that. So that looks pretty neat. So he's got two fists on him. Let's see if it's easy. So there's a ball on the end of this peg, and this peg is a rotary hinge there. So I gotta find an appropriate hand. Putting this hand on though. Man, that peg is so thin, I'm afraid I'm gonna snap it off. So I gotta make sure I push directly on. Alright. And it looks like this hand I put on is meant to pinch this rose, maybe? I don't remember that scene at all. Will the lighter fit in this hand? Yeah, so the hand is rubbery, so yeah, you can use that to hold the lighter. Very nice. Okay, let's move on. So then you're not going to get much articulation because the clothes are going to hold it up. And that's just the way cloth figures are. You got to accept that. You're not going to get the crazy articulation of, say, an all-plastic Rebel Tech or even an SHF. There's a butterfly in this shoulder, and obviously you can go up and down, and you can probably spin the whole arm around. Yeah, there's a bicep swivel there. The forearm does not have a swivel, but it probably has a double jointed elbow. So look at that bend, that's very impressive, even with the cloth. And then we obviously saw the hand in and out and then twist around, so that's fine. So he's wearing an undershirt, so that's cool. You can actually see some of the undershirt right there underneath the scarf. I'm not going to undo the scarf, I'll never get it back to the way it was. I'm going to leave this alone too. You could probably undo this jacket, but this belt here, or whatever this you want to call this, actually has a wire in it, so it'll hold its shape if you want to have it like wind blown or something like that. And then we have this buckle down here as well. It's just a piece of plastic painted like brass or gold, and again that's the same belt, so it has a wire in there. Yeah, I just leave it like that. The bottom of the coat, no wire though. There's some Velcro holding the coat together. Well, maybe since this belt is a wire. I thought it was actually tied in a knot, but it's just a wire. So I guess I will undo this because I can put that back. Okay, so nice. The jacket is lined, and yeah, those buttons on the outside are melted on this back side. And then yeah, here's his shirt. Nothing holding the shirt together. You can see he's a pretty ripped character. His action figure is in better shape than I am. And then there actually are belt loops here for these Joker-like pants, but no belt necessary apparently because you got it on the jacket. So this is a really soft, thin fabric they got here, so that's good because it allows better articulation, and it, I think, drapes better. It looks like, you know, nice tailored clothes. I'm always amazed that there's some people making these miniature clothes. I mean, it's just crazy how small they are. I don't even understand how the sewing head can get into such tight areas. Okay, so down here we got the boots, and we got some texture on the bottom, but no peg holes. It seems like a lot of these cloth figures don't have peg holes. This guy actually has socks on. Those are fabric socks. And then, well, I don't want to force this. So that's not coming off, but there's clearly a hinge there, and probably a peg maybe going at an angle maybe. But anyways, you can get some great side rocker, inward rocker, front, forward, back, twisting, everything. So very nice, very good. Let me get his jacket back together. It just looks weird with his jacket open. So we'll get that hook and loop stuff there. We'll get this wire over here. And just twist this around. I think it was down like this. And this maybe goes like that. So a cut in the back of the jacket. So that helps, I guess, with the articulation. The leg here is probably a peg and a ball up in this crotch. There's no thigh swivel. It doesn't twist, nor does the lower shin. But the knee probably has a double joint again, yeah. So pretty good. Can almost get up to his butt, which is fine. Alright. I think that's it. Oh, some little cuffs with some more buttons there. Looks good. And then, yes, he can stand okay. So very cool. Let me get a different pose out of him. Before I was posing, I realized in the packaging there was there is a longer wire. I can't pick it up with my fingers for this grappling thing. It was in a bag. It's just so thin I didn't even see it the first time. So let's see if this is easy to replace. Yeah, that was simple enough to pull out. You gotta twist this around. I think you want to have the wider part towards the gun itself. It's a really thin wire. I'm guessing it's like 0.5 millimeter long. Okay, so now then we get the hook end here. Yeah, that's much better. I don't even know really why they would even bother with this one. It just looks weird, right? It's too short. They should just leave it like that. So naturally, being a metal wire, you can bend it, but I think I'll just leave it the way it is. It looks really good as it is. Also, I was thinking, could you put the hat on the guy's head? Well, you know, it's a hard hair sculpt, so not so much. I mean, the hat's a little bit flexible, but not that flexible. So that doesn't look so good. Yeah. Okay. Now I'm get a pose. Alright, I'm liking him with the flamethrower effect there. So let's see if we can get a couple other 1/12 scale figures up here. I don't know if he's going to balance. This is Matt Damon. He's a you know, the 101st Airborne Division, like from Saving Private Ryan. So this is supposed to be Private Ryan. And this is made by a company called DID, Dragon and Dreams, and it's just awesome. Look at all the details on this guy. But again, no peg holes on the bottom, so I use some poster board putty. I'm going to have to stop this thing and see if I can get him up here. Yeah, he's got a wood and metal M1 Garand. It's a great figure. So you have to look up like 1/12 scale Airborne Division or 1/12 scale DID. Another military character. This is made by Crazy Figure. It's a Spetsnaz, a Russian, you know, FSB or whatever, special forces, and he's got RPG. And look at this camo. It's just great. He's got a, you know, just a more modern rendition of a soldier, and the little molded details are just nuts. This has a folding stock. This AK. Okay, so I have him crouching down. And then Mesko. You can't have a cloth figure without talking about Mesko. And so another great movie for me is Blade. Snipes playing Blade. And so the issue with Mesko is they're not really 12 scale, in my opinion. Look how big it is, right? I almost feel like they're like 6.5 inch to 7 inch, or maybe like 1/11th or 1/12 scales. They just seem tall. I could be wrong, you know, because he's on a clear stand here. Maybe Snipes is a tall character. I don't know. Let me take Snipes off this plastic stand and put him on with these guys here. He's still pretty tall, though. Yeah, he's much taller than the other characters, I think. But I don't know of any other cloth Blade figure is better than this. So, yeah, boy, these things are so big. It's hard to get them all in the shot. This stupid thing always defaults to super high speed. Okay, there we go. So cloth action figures, not the best posability, but decent enough poses, and they just look fantastic, I think. So I prefer cloth figures over plastic figures because I don't really have time to sit there and play with my action figures. If I had a cubicle and I worked in a cubicle, then I would probably have some plastic figures and just fiddle around with them at work, but I don't have such a thing. Alright, let me get one last pose out of Rorschach here, and we'll let him spin on its own. A little more articulation testing here. The torso's not much. You can twist his torso a little bit, but the side to side is very little, and then front to back is almost non-existent. Right, back you don't expect much, but front, even though you saw the body, I think it's the clothes holding it up. So yeah, that's why I forgot before. I kind of don't even bother trying to get these guys into crazy poses. Alright. Okay, well, they're grappling hooks scraping the monitor. Anyways, this is a fantastic figure. I'm really glad I got it. Yeah, it's a good movie. I recommend you guys watch it. And I appreciate you guys watching this figure review. And I guess I'll see you the next time I get one in. Take care now. Take care now.